Thank you for that. Okay, so I am recording. Guys, this is the 8 p.m. training call, share training. Last week, if you called in, oh, sorry. I forgot I need to mute everybody. I'm gonna mute everybody. I'll open the lines. Hi, Michelle, welcome to the call. Cecile, is that Cecile there? Welcome, guys. Thanks for calling in. So this share training, I'm going to give you some context here, okay? If you're just new to our team, for a couple of years now, we've been using a training series called Share Success. Share Success was developed by our upline, Andy and Natalie Goddard. They're the #1 income earners in doTERRA, and they built all the way to the top without really a system, and they said, man, that was hard. I don't want people to have to do that. So they built this system out. And the system is live, share, build, and launch. So all of that system was originally on a website called sharesuccess.com. And if you are new and you've not yet gone systematically through Share Success, you need to do that. The trainings were so good that corporate bought the system and then they revamped it. And the revamped guides are awesome. They're designed to be able to be read from front cover to back cover and to be workbooks for us. What I love about the share training that we're going to get into today is it comes with scripts, right? Oh, sweetie, I'm recording. Shut the door. Thank you. I'm in my kitchen. I thought it was the one place that nobody could get to me, but that's just not true. If you don't know me, I have 4 daughters who are not sleeping at the moment, but I will lock that door. Okay, so scripts. It has scripts that we can learn by heart. We're going to talk a lot about that today. And then we can make them our own. So if you find yourself stuck for words like, what do I do next? This training is fantastic for you. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through the share guide. And then we've added on in this training a couple different things. The memory jogger. This is great for people who say, oh my gosh, I totally want to do this, but I don't know anybody. We're going to fix that with the memory jogger. Then we're going to go through 2 very important skills. The what do you do when somebody asks you, what do you do? And you're building with doTERRA, but you don't know how to communicate that and to communicate the opportunity to someone at the same time without verbally vomiting all over somebody. And then the direct invite phone formula. This is when you want to share with somebody and how do we make the appointment? This formula is helping us to make the actual appointment. So this new share guide is available on doTERRA.com. under advocates. And then now, instead of share success, it's called empowered success. And there's beautiful videos there, and it's super easy to learn. So today, I want to start with today. Thanks for calling on, guys. Some more people, Cheelin. Hey, Sherelle. Good to see you guys on. I had a great call with Victoria today because I have these fantastic leaders coming on who desire to build a part-time, be in a part-time hustle, get some extra vacation money, and people who really want to build something substantial where they can replace their income. And I said to Victoria, I was like, man, we need to create a training that gets people to be able to speak like this, like you and me, right? And she kind of laughed. And she said, Allie, how many videos have you watched? How many hours of training have you done? How many hours have you spent talking to people? How many hours have you spent sucking at this, realizing that you suck at this and getting better? How many books have you read? How many people have you coached? How many lives have you changed? She said, you can't get to where we are without putting in the time ourselves. There is no magic pill. There is no one training that's going to unlock this for you. It's time, it's patience, it's showing up, which y'all have shown up, which is fantastic. It's being humble and willing to learn new skills and to put yourself out there in new ways. There's no easy way to get good at this. You know, if it were easy to get to the top income wouldn't be at like something crazy like $400,000 a month. Like, you don't get that if you don't put the time and the effort and the work in, right? So the skills that we're going to go over today, this is like a first brush, right? You've got to take the time to master this if you really want to go for this. And so I like to think about it as 2 feet. These are hands, but imagine them as feet. We learn and we do. We learn and we do. We try to share and we learn from it and we do it again. We learn the skills and we do it and we test it and we might suck at it. So we learn some more and we do it again. What happens if you learn, and you're only moving with one leg? What happens in that case? You end up going in circles. The same thing applies if you do. If you just go at full throttle, but you don't learn, you're going to end up in circles as well. So we want to start this share training understanding that there are like definite skills that you can master in order to be really confident and really comfortable sharing. And if you wouldn't be on this call if you didn't love the oils and think, maybe there's something here. So here we go. Sharing comes naturally. Okay, so why do people share? There's a couple options here, right? To empower others, host a class, and introduce your friends and family to doTERRA and help them find a natural solution for their life. My favorite part of the natural solutions class is having people set up their accounts, not because of the financial benefit to me or to my team members, but it's because I literally get so excited thinking that they're going to get their box in a couple days and their life is about to change and they're about to have incredible tools at their fingertips. Yeah, I mean, I met with a fantastic woman yesterday who was engaging in the business, and I showed her the build guide and I showed her the ranks and I looked at the monthly revenues and I said, so look here, and what would make this worth your while? And she looked at me and she says, I don't need money. I want to be a part of something. I want to change people's lives. That's a really big reason why people get involved in this, because doTERRA is not only changing individuals' lives, but it's changing the face of the earth, literally, with our co-impact sourcing, and it's changing the face of healthcare. And people want to get into that. Like, that's a drive for some people. Now, some people need to earn some money. Some people don't like their jobs or need, like I said, a side hustle. There was a statistic, a study that came out that the average amount of money that is a US study, but the average amount of money that was reported that would change people's married lives, right? Have them maybe stop bickering about money or whatever, was not $1 million. It was not $5,000 a month. It was $250 a month. And what does that pay for? It's like date night, babysitter, a meal, and a movie. And that changes things for people. Now, some people have bigger financial goals. They want to pay off a mortgage. They want to pay off school debt. They want to put their kids through school. It doesn't matter. But the reality is we can earn rewards, either free product or commission, by sharing doTERRA. The other people, like me, they want to create income. I have a big family. We live in an expensive city. We are not packaged. You know, for me, it's doTERRA all in, all or nothing, because this is my family's financial future. And it's that pipeline, that residual income pipeline, that is so possible with doTERRA. So it doesn't really matter the reason, just understanding as leaders that people want to start for different reasons. We can't assume that everyone needs extra money. We can't assume that everyone is in this to change the world, right? Eventually that happens, but we need to meet people where they are and to ask questions, you know, why do this for you? What is it for you? And really be interested in their answers and meet them right where they are. We're going to talk specifically about the memory jogger, but here in the share guide, there's just a really quick 20 names list. Whose lives do you want to change? And I love it because it's meant to be, in the build guide, we ask for 100 names because the build guide is geared for builders, you know, but I like that the share guide just keeps it simple. 20 people. Who are we going to talk to? You want to talk one-on-one, or do you want to invite them to a class? And it just starts to get your name list going. The steps to inviting. If you are on a mobile device, you can pinch in and out, and I love these. I just think that these are fantastic. These are the steps. You first want to share an experience. How does this happen? Oh, speaking of sharing an experience, I don't think you can see this, but my new favorite drink is hot water with lemon and goji berries. And I do lemon and water because I talk all day, and the lemon keeps it really good back there in my throat. Okay, how do we share an experience? I'm gonna go super basic here, guys, because let me see who's on the call here. Brilliant. Lots and lots and lots of new people. Fantastic. So I'm going to keep it super basic. You always have to have your oils on hand. Okay. Preparation is key. If you see me, I have oils on hand. I wish I had my thing, or I'd show you. I think it's, well, it's a little travel on, and it has like 40 little bottles in there, each 1 ml, because you never know what people are going to need, you know? And then if you lose it, it doesn't kill you because you've just kind of emptied 15 or 20 drops into a little bottle. How do you share an experience naturally? Here are a couple of my favorite ways. First of all, playgrounds. I have 4 little kids. I have had on more than one occasion my eldest drag me a kid who's fallen on the playground and says, "Mom, so-and-so needs some lavender," you know, and I'll go and I'll ask permission of the mom to put some lavender on. And then they go, "What is that?" You know, and sure enough, the stops bleeding or whatever happens. And it's a great way to share an experience. Okay. The other way is I always have a lemon in my purse. So when I'm out with friends, you know, there's always water on the table. Just like Victoria, I think I learned this from her. I will wash my hands with a drop of lemon and then put a drop of lemon in my teacup. And people are like, "What?" Like, "What are you doing?" And that's not the time necessarily when you vomit everything. You never want to vomit anything, but it just gets people interested. We'll talk about what to do with that interest in a minute. But you can, what's the other way? Oh, whenever I'm having people over, I love making On Guard apples, where you slice an apple, peel it, slice it, get a dish, put a little bit of water, 1 or 2 drops of On Guard, and then you kind of wash or rinse, I guess, the apples in the On Guard. And then you drain the water. I drink the water because it's On Guard. I don't waste On Guard in my house. And then you can serve the apples, and they taste really cinnamony, clovey, delicious. And it's a fantastic way to get On Guard in children. It's an awesome after-school snack, but it's also, they're like classy sliced fruit for when you're having friends over the house. So that's really cool. So once or maybe you have a friend who's like, "Gosh, this is like my 3rd day in a row with a headache." Or, "I'm really struggling with sleep. Like, I just can't get out of bed in the morning." Here's the line. Do you see it over here? Are you open to trying something natural? Throughout this process, it's really important that we ask permission for a lot of reasons. I won't go into the psyche behind it, but are you open to trying something natural? If somebody says no, you drop it. No biggie, right? Most people go, "What does that mean?" Then down here, I'm following right along. You need to download this guide. Share your experience. Share how the products have helped you. In the blue, it says, "Well, we've been using doTERRA essential oils, and we're loving how they help us with so many different things. Man, I used to struggle with headaches. I love this one blend that you put right on your temples and over your forehead. It really helps with my headaches if I catch them fast enough." And then be quiet. Done. You've not vomited. You've shared an experience, right? Here's another one. Ask permission to share a sample and a commitment to use it, because someone's going to go, "Wow, gosh, that sounds fantastic to have something like that, all natural, toxin-free." Here's the next line. "I'm just curious. Are you open to trying something natural for that? If I give you a sample, will you give it a try?" Okay. Why is it important to ask if somebody's going to try a sample? Because you want to be able to follow up with them. You're asking permission all along. You're not just dumping samples on people. You're telling them exactly what you're going to do. You are a professional. We are not hobbyists, right? We're professionals, and it's important that we act, that we go along with what we say that we're going to do. So if I give you a sample, will you give it a try? The woman that knocked at my door, long story, but she was here to get some samples. And for her mom, who's a TCM doctor, she's a local Chinese woman, lovely. And she said, "Oh, literally. I had wrapped up this great kit for her mom, and she goes, oh, maybe I should try some. And I was like, oh, well, if I gave you a sample, would you like to try it? And she was like, absolutely. So I'm like making some samples on the kitchen table while she goes. And then when she was leaving, it's really important. Would it be all right if I reach out to you in a couple days and see how it worked for you? What's the best number to reach you? I'll call you at. Well, I know we've been going through WeChat. But I told her I was going to follow up in a couple days. So that does two things. One, it reminds her that she's going to use it because there's accountability there. I'm going to follow up. I gave you a free sample. I'd love to follow up. Is it okay if I follow up with you in a couple days? And then you put in your calendar an event to follow up. Because if you forget to follow up, and then, for me, she's in my building. We met in the lobby. And I see her randomly next week. I'll be like, shoot, forgot to follow up. And either you're avoiding people because you're embarrassed, or you have to apologize. And people are like, I don't want to. She can't remember to follow up. What kind of business is she building? So these are really, really, really important. Now, when you're just beginning, they can feel really awkward. Like this doesn't come naturally to you to ask, are you open to trying something natural? You need to practice this until it rolls off your tongue because this works. Remember, this system got our people, our leaders, to $400,000 US a month. It works. And they just hand this down to us for free. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Use it, memorize it, and then make it your own, right? So that you can say it with authenticity to you. So then what do? You share an experience, and then you invite them to learn more. So you call them, right? Or you text them, and they say, yeah, that sleep blend you made me was fantastic. I slept better than I ever slept before. You can invite them to learn more. How do you do that? The most important thing is you need to know when classes are going on. You need to know your schedule. Whether you're teaching in class personally, or whether your upline is teaching in class, or your friend is teaching in class, you need to know about when the classes are. Here's why. Here's the script. Are you open to learning more about essential oils and natural ways of caring for yourself and your family? Pause. They're going to say yes. I'm having a class on such and such a date at 10 a.m. Or we can meet together next week. Which works best for you? Some people like a class. Maybe they can't make it. No worries. We'll meet up. And then get permission to remind somebody. If you're like me, you'll appreciate a reminder. Can I give you a quick reminder for the class? The permission, first of all, it's respect, right? We respect people, hands down, across the board, all the time. The second thing is when you follow up, it switches the psyche. You're not being annoying. You're following through with your word. So many times when we start, we can feel like we're pestering people, but you're actually just living in your integrity by doing what you told them you were going to do. And they've already given you permission. So fantastic. Now, just by inviting them, you're not done yet. You got to remind them to come. Now, this is why this is so exciting. Call or text your invited prospects 2 days prior to the presentation to remind them to attend, 48 hours. Share your excitement. I'm so excited to see you. You're going to love learning some great ways to take care of your family naturally. Feel free to bring a friend and get a free gift. So if in your classes, or the classes that you're going to, if somebody brings a friend and they get a gift, fantastic. That's an awesome way to have people invite friends. Maybe they get a little 5 ml oil or a keychain or whatever it is. And then you want to text them again 2 to 4 hours prior to your presentation. Reiterate your excitement. Let them know something, okay? Feel free to park in the driveway or along the street. You're going to love the essential oil infused refreshments, okay? We usually serve a peppermint water or a lemon water, right? Get people excited. This works, so you need to learn it. It's like you need a piece of homework from this. This is the homework, okay? How do you share the business? One more time, let's go down here in the blue. Begin connecting in person, online, or over the phone, and nurture the relationship. People go into business with people that they like. Okay? Nurture the relationship always first. When the time is right, ask, are you open to additional ways of creating income? Same thing. Are you open to trying something natural? Are you open to additional ways of creating income? Then you can share your vision. Now, in order to share your vision, you have to have a vision. So as a new leader, you need to work with your upline until your vision is kind of crystal clear. A lot of times when we start, we don't even know what's possible. Okay, so connect with your leader and make sure that you know what is possible for you, because it's through your vision that you're going to be capturing people. Tell them why you thought of them and why you would love to work with them. We're going to go on this more. This is that 5-step phone call. Then what do we do when we share the business? Well, this is, again, you're inviting. Same thing, same invitation. And then you want to remind them 4 hours or 48 hours. I'm excited to connect and explore the possibilities with you. You know, when I'm talking about the business, I'm always talking about exploring the possibilities. That's what it is. Lots of people say yes. Lots of people say no. It doesn't matter. I want to explore the possibilities with you. Okay. And it's a really pressure-free, let's just have a chat about this. It might be for you. It might not be. That's okay. Okay. If you guys have questions, pop them in the chat box so that we can address them. Share anytime, anywhere. So doTERRA is a relationships business. I love that. I mean, we're not lone rangers. We care about people first and foremost. We need to take the time to create and nurture relationships as we begin to share. I met a woman, a lovely, lovely woman. She's totally into holistic health. I talked about the oils. I dripping, right? She said no initially. And I said, you know, I'm just gonna, would it be okay if I let you know when there's really cool promos going on or whatever? So every month I would send her the promo for that month. Month 13, guys, 13, 1 year and 1 month later, she's like, okay, I'm ready. Right? It takes on average between 5 and I think 11 or 12 touches for people to really be ready for this. And some of that's your story, right? Some people turn on to the business way down the line when something happens, a life change happens, or it's the right time for them, right? We're not on our timeline. We're on other people's timelines. So we share the story. We share an oil experience. We share a sample. We share online. There's so many places that we can share. Sharing experiences is really fantastic. Whatever works for you. You know, as a leader, you need to know how to share your story, which we're going to talk about in a minute, how to share an experience, how to share a sample, and how to share online, all compliantly, of course. And again, those are the skill sets that I talked about in the beginning, that you got to watch some videos about it. You got to read some books about it. And that's when you start to get really good. Carrying samples with you. Huge benefit here. Remember my little travel kit? It has 40. 30 of them are essential oils and 10 of them are samples. I keep things like peppermint, orange, lemon, On Guard, Easy Air as samples. If I'm with a friend and somebody has a cold in the house or someone has a flu in the house, I'm going to give them a bottle of On Guard. I'm going to give them a little tiny sample, 20 drops of Easy Air. The things that we know people really have fantastic, fast experiences with. If somebody is dealing with long-term blood sugar and insulin challenges, that's not going to be a quick fix like that. So we need to make sure that we're giving people samples that they're going to go, wow, to. I wouldn't, I don't love spikenard, for example. Probably wouldn't be giving that out first thing. And what can we share online? Source2you.com. If you've not been there yet, source2you.com. It is fantastic. It talks about the safety of our oils, the growers, the culture, the company. It has a lot of our heart there, but it's also where we talked about this last week, the batch number on the bottom of our bottles. You can put this into source2you.com and you can look at the test results of this bottle, which no other company in the industry is able to do that. So it's a really cool place to send people to have a look at the heart and the products of our company. So sampling tips. There's a whole, what do they call it? Sampling something, I can't remember. If you look, well, I can't give it to you now because I can't remember. But I really like, there was a sampling method by some other doTERRA leaders, and it was very, very, very powerful for them in their organization. And this sums it up. But that leader did not teach a class for anyone who had not sampled their people in that way, because it was so powerful. The purpose of sampling, let me bring this out for us a little bit and think bigger picture. I said just a minute ago, it takes between 5 and 12 touches for somebody to say yes to an oil. Now, a touch could be seeing oils in a friend's house, or somebody else giving them an oil experience, or hearing about doTERRA on Amazon, I don't know. Hearing about another essential oil company could be a touch, right? Seeing the effects on someone else, but those are all touches. It doesn't mean you're touching them 5 to 12 times. But sampling is another touch. So when somebody has been sampled, think about this. This is logical. When someone has tried a product and they come to a class, they've already said yes. They're not at the class to figure out whether or not they want oils in their home. They're at the class to figure out what they want. That is a different mentality. That makes that class so much more fun, let me tell you. It is really fun when you're like the 7th, 8th, or 9th touch that someone has had with oils. Okay, it just really changes the dynamic of things. They're eager, they're really excited to get them. And then you can have a different level of conversation with them. There's some sampling tips here. We did talk about that a little bit, asking permission to follow up. If they have a positive experience, invite them to learn more at a class. If they have a negative experience or no result, here's how I like to handle it. And this is from that one training I was telling you about. Before I even give someone a sample, I'll really broaden it. I'll say something like, oils work differently for every body. Like, not everybody, but every body that they're put on. And oftentimes, like when you go to the doctor and they try you out on a medication and it doesn't work and you go back and they try you out on something else, oils can kind of be the same thing. So I'm going to give you this for this. And if it'd be okay, I'd love to follow up in a couple days. And if it doesn't, well, I don't even say that in the beginning. I just say, we're going to start here and we're going to see what happens. Because you don't want to say, oh my goodness, this little oil is going to totally work for you. Like my husband swears by lemongrass for pain relief. Doesn't do much for me in that arena. Every body is different. So if somebody has a negative experience or has no result, you've already set them up for, that's okay, man. We have loads of other oils that you can try. But we have to be careful not to go, it didn't work for you, but that one's my favorite one for that. Keeping it simple and open and chill, right? This is not life and death. It's just an oil. We're like, we'll find something that works for you, I promise. So you can invite to try a different sample. Be patient and invested in helping them find a solution, okay? They need to build their own belief in the products as well. And this is a patience, human loving. You have to love human beings to be really good at this and to succeed at this, okay? Now, sometimes you call and they didn't try the sample. No worries. It's not a big deal. They didn't let you down. It's okay, man. Life happens. Invite them to try again and then invite to follow up for a couple of days. Quick, fast, no pressure conversation, okay? We're going to talk about sharing your story later, but this is a really easy template that you can use, but we've got a little bit better one down the road. So how do you host a presentation? Oftentimes when you're in this share mode, you're not quite full on builder yet. You're learning the skills. It's nice to host a presentation at your home and have your leader come and teach for you. Okay, so Raf, you're over in Puxi. Raf gets his people together. He doesn't quite know how to teach a class yet. No worries. He'll get his people over. I'll come over and I'll teach a class. So what is Raf's job when he hosts like that? So I want to go, So I'm just going to walk through that. Raf's job would be to say, hi, my name's Raf. Thank you guys for coming. I'm super excited. I just want to share one quick story that I have with the oils, and he would share his oil story. And then he'd say, and I invited my friend Allie here to share the class. She's who I learned the oils from, and what I love about Allie is, ABC. She's super passionate about the oil. She's knowledgeable, and she has fantastic stories about how oils have really changed the lives of her family radically. And then you just sit and enjoy, and you let your upline do the presentation. And then when people enroll, they enroll with your number. So your leader is intentionally helping you build your residual income stream because it benefits the leader as well. Okay, this is the beauty of the compensation plan, which if you're interested in that, next week. But you can't get to the top by yourself in this. You've got to invest in your people, which is beautiful. So think about one-on-ones. Yeah, so the difference between a one-on-one, somebody might be out of your area and you need to do a call, no worries. I always like to do builders one-on-one We are going to start to do group presentations, opportunity presentations in the new year. But I love one-on-ones for that. Preparation, of course, you want to know kind of what the person needs, but that just happens naturally in the conversation. You can't know everything. That's why you need to have the app on hand, the Modern Essentials app or your Modern Essentials book. You know, if I know everything, I'm not duplicatable. And if I'm not duplicatable, my business will wither and die at me. So we have to, even in conversations, like, I love it. One of Morgan, I'm going to put you on the spot for a minute, but so last week's call, that was such a debacle. Like, I had the worst internet and Elsa had to run the PowerPoint. Like, it was insane, but it was Morgan's first call. And Morgan's a new leader. She's super excited. And I was following up afterwards and I was like, oh, wow, that was such a horrible call. And she said, actually, it was really great for me to see because it wasn't perfect and you're literally in your kitchen with the writing on the wall. And like, if you can do this, anyone can do this. And I was like, that's exactly the point. If I can do this, anyone can do this. So we have to be duplicatable in what we do. Somebody asked me today about colitis. I'm like, I don't know. Let me have a look and see if there's anything for intestinal health. I know kind of what I would recommend for intestinal health, but I'm still going to look at my resources to make sure that I'm aligned. Okay. And you only get really good at that when you keep looking things up, when you keep meeting with people and you keep trying to help meet their health and wellness needs. Does that make sense? There's lots of preparation here, pens and paper. Invite 12 people for an ideal class size of 4 to 6. If not everyone shows, then great, you're a normal human being. Perfect. People want to be sampled ahead of time. I have a question. It's all online, my friend. All online. Yep, all online. Oh, sorry. So here's the ideal timeline. Day 1, share an experience. Day 3, follow up and invite. Day 8, 48-hour reminder. Day 10, 2 to 4 hour reminder. Hold a class. Okay, so you really want to get people moving through this process quickly. There's momentum in fast. Fast is fun. Slow is painful. Wellness kit arrives in 12 to 14 days. Now, this is ideal. Remember my friend who took 14 months? No worries. It doesn't always work out like this, but again, we're professionals. So if I don't follow up, that's on me. That looks bad on me and it looks bad on doTERRA because I'm a doTERRA professional. So we're professionals and we all have room to grow in this. But if you keep this in mind, 1 day, 3 day, I want to get them to the class at least the next week. You know what that means? You need to either be teaching a class next week or know when the classes are being taught next week, right? And then you want to do a wellness consult. So wellness consult we covered last week. It's basically just helping someone identify the products that they need to really get their health goals started. I knew this was somewhere. I already walked through this. What is your role in a party? Let's see. Is there anything I missed? It's fast. Your role is fast. Edify the presenter. Why are they there? Why are they awesome? Why should your people who don't know the presenter be listening to the presenter? It's called edification. We do a lot of edification in this because people don't, like half of you don't know me, right? If your leader was on the call, or maybe even to get you on this call, she was like, hey, you got to get on this call with Ali Mona. She's a gold leader. She's great. She does all this stuff, whatever. But that's the edification process that's important because we are leveraging our time. Guys, like global. Our businesses are global and we can't be on every call. We can't do everything. So the edification process is crucial when we are sending people to other people's calls. Why do you want somebody on this call with me? You can say the same thing about every leader because pretty much we're all passionate, we're all knowledgeable, we love what we do, you know. But edify people when you send them a call. Let's see. Try to enroll, business presentations, the same thing. If you are not the one presenting, then you're just edifying and sharing a couple, like a 2 to 3 minute chat on why you're choosing doTERRA to partner with doTERRA for your business. Follow up. Yep, and follow up is important. So Send them a link after class to enroll. Yeah, so let me go back here to wrap your question. If you send, let's say you sent the introduction to oil class that I recorded last weekend with a couple other friends. Let's say that they were in somewhere else and you couldn't get them a call, or you couldn't get them somewhere, and you said, okay, here's the class. It has everything, right? It's the same strategy. If I send you a class, will you watch it? Yes or no? If you're getting permission. Yes, of course I'll watch it. Okay, when do you think you'll be able to watch it by? It's an hour and 7 minutes. And they'll say, I don't know, Saturday by noon. And you say, fantastic. Could I give you a call Saturday at noon so we can discuss what you saw? Yes or no? No, call me Saturday evening. I'm with my kids on Saturday. Okay, great. Saturday evening, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock. Great, I'll call you then. Then you put it in your phone, follow-up call, Saturday, 8 o'clock with so-and-so to discuss, they should have watched the introduction video. Okay, you call them. It's just like sampling. You call them, hey, super excited. Well, you want to remind, first of all, can't wait for our call in 2 hours. My Zoom or yours, you know? Then, when you're on the phone, hey, super excited to catch up. Did you have a chance to watch the video? Yes or no? Just like, did you have a chance to use the sample? Yes or no? Same thing. If they had a chance to watch the sample, or watch the video, then you could say, what did you like best? We don't like to say, what did you think? Because most human beings start with a negative. Start with the, I couldn't do this, right? What did you like best about what you saw? Some people will say products. Some people will say business. Hey, Allie, at the end of that, she mentioned something about being able to do some revenue with this. What's that about? Okay. What did you like best about what you saw? And then you have a conversation. If someone says, man, I really think I need these products, then you go through that wellness consult. What are your top 3 things that we're working on? Okay. There's also in the build guide, the 6 questions to close, I think they call it. And you just close, just like you would at a regular class. What are the things that we're working on? How serious are you? Okay. If I were you, I would. Those are all scripts that are in the build guide. Notice how I don't even have to think about it anymore because I've done my time learning and sucking and learning and sucking. Spent a lot of time sucking. But you have to, like, that's just, gosh, if I was going to be an engineer tomorrow, I'd suck for a long time until I learned the skills, right? This is a lot of people who come on here, you are really good at what you do. You're fantastic at what you do. But chances are you don't do this yet. So you've got to learn the skills to be able to do this. And there's a lot of humility. There's a lot of humility required in that. So I hope that Michelle says, in China, are samples available for us to purchase? Okay, introduction Chinese, I've to download. Yeah, you can Google the introduction kits. Google that. And there are no samples available for us to purchase of the Deep Blue and the toothpaste, but I buy empty vials on Taobao and I fill them with oils. So that's how I get around that, them not being available. Okay, so change more lives. So when we share, you're welcome. When we share, how does the company reward us? Notice how I said, how does the company reward us? When I share with you, you give me nothing. The company rewards me for sharing. I take nothing from you. I earn nothing from you. No money goes from your pocket into mine. The company pays me a percentage based on your orders. That's different. You know, money doesn't run through my hands. I don't keep stock. I don't keep inventory. I don't ship to you. All of that happens through corporate. You guys have to try this. This thing is delicious. A little sweet. On through sugar. That's a little sweet from the goji berries. Anyway. So when we begin to share, we can earn commissions immediately. And this is a beautiful part of the doTERRA compensation plan. When you enroll a new friend, family member, it doesn't matter who they are, stranger that you sat next to on a plane, it happens. doTERRA gives you 20% of their order for their first 60 days. So when they set up an account, a clock starts. when they set up an account, not when you set up an account, when they set up an account, a clock starts 60 days, 59 days, 58 days. Everything that they order within their first 60 days, you earn 20% of. So that means if they order a 100-point kit to start, you earn 20% of that in dollars, 20 bucks. If they order a 400-point kit to start, you earn $80. Okay. This does not mean that we upsell people. We never upsell people unless it's in their best interest and we really think that that's what is the best kit. Okay. Never. We are never thinking about our commissions when we're working with people. Ever, ever, ever. That's bad business and it gives MLM a bad name. Okay. Their first 60 days. Why 60 days? Because it encourages us to stay in touch. Not that we do that just because of the money, but we want to stay training them about LRP and all that stuff for the first 60 days until they're independent. Most people can get pretty, figure out where to find their information, how to order, how to manage their back office in 60 days. It's a good amount. It's a good timeline for us to be thinking for our people. So then that person goes and sets up an account for a friend and they earn 20%. But me, because I set them up, I earn 10% of the friend's order. And my upline makes 5%. So this goes up 3 levels. And again, it's brilliant. It encourages us to invest down into our people, which is the whole premise of this structure. If you help people, okay, so if you want to be paid in doTERRA, basically it's 100 points a month minimum order on LRP in different markets. In China, it's just 100 points. Which, let's be honest, with shipping, handling, all that stuff, is about $150 US. This bonus, Fast Start bonus, if you enroll 4 or 5 people a month, your products are already paid for. Okay? I mean, it's pretty awesome. Just on this alone, I think my weekly average is about 200 US. And I have a small team. I'm sure Victoria's, whatever. The longer you go with this, the more you earn, right? The more people you enroll and teach them to do the same, the more you get with this one bonus. Power of 3 encourages good structure. I don't want to talk about this one too much because we're going to talk about it in depth next week. But it just encourages good structure for your organization to maximize your organization. So change your future. Create residual income in your spare time. Achieve greater freedom and prosperity in your life. Launch your doTERRA business. There's all those possibilities, with enough time and enough effort on your part. All right, memory jogger, here we go. This is the website, networkmarketingpro.com. A guy named Eric Worre. If you're new to the MLM industry, you're gonna hear his name soon enough. So go on to networkmarketingpro.com. He has a great book called Go Pro. My favorite in the premise of the book is that network marketing kind of sucks until you decide to go professional in it. If you dabble, it's painful, and that's true. So it's like a 77-page workbook or something insane. This is just a one screenshot. The ultimate memory jogger. Who in the world do you know? So this is great for people who go, I want to do this, but I don't know anybody. I can prove you wrong, because check this out. I know you have people on your phone. And what you want to do with this list, what you want to do with this list when you create it is you want to talk to your business people first. Who are your business prospects? People who are entrepreneurial. People who have too much on their plate because they have too much on their plate because they manage it well. People who need a side hustle because they need to earn some money on the side. People who are super into health and wellness. Did I say that already? People who could really benefit from like $250 extra a month. Okay. Those are the people who you think you want to talk to first, because in our structure, it's really cool to have the business people on the top. It doesn't always happen that way, and that's okay. But it's really cool if that happens. And this sort of list is great if you ever feel like, man, I'm just running out of people to talk to. Because sure enough, you have lots and lots and lots of people to talk to. In the book that I'm reading, it's Get Over Your Damn Self, which I just love the title, by a woman named Romy somebody. She's a network marketing leader, 6-figure a month earner in another company. She says, and I loved it because it really challenged me. She said, if your mouth is closed, your business is closed. And I thought, man, that's so true. As network marketing professionals, like sometimes I just want to close my mouth and have not talk to anyone and just kind of go up against the wall and not chat and be antisocial. And when I do that, my business is closed. I'm completely removing the opportunity to have a really cool conversation with somebody, to build a friendship that could turn into whatever, you know? So this sort of thing, I mean, look at this: auto mechanic, accountant, banker, these are people you do business with. If you do business with them, perhaps they can give you 5 minutes of their time to see what you're into. All right. I'm going to try really hard to get these two things done in 13 minutes. This is where you're going to have to go home. I'm going to introduce this, and you're going to have to go and you got to do the work. You got to put the work in if you want to get good at this. What do you do? Man, what a power-packed question. What do you do? Some of you would say, I'm a teacher. Okay. Some of you would say, I'm an entrepreneur, I run my own business. Some of you would say, I'm a physician. Some of you would say, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Awesome. They're all factual. They're all true. But we miss the opportunity. If you're engaging with doTERRA, then we miss the opportunity to open possibilities to people. So we don't have to change who we are or what we do, because I don't believe what we do is who we are, but we don't have to change what we do, but we do need to tack on something here. So I am a teacher, but what I'm most excited about is, and Morgan, you could totally answer this question, right? Building something on the side that gives me possibility and freedom, you know, as I look at career choices later on. Look at some of these options. However, what I'm most excited about is helping someone like yourself who's already very successful but has no time. So if you're talking to a busy professional, this is something you might say. I'm most excited. I'm so-and-so. I'm a mom. But what I'm most excited about is helping someone like yourself, this busy professional who's already very successful but has no time, to exceed your current income and have quality time with your family and those you love. Brilliant. What if you're talking to a mom? I'm a stay-at-home mom, and what I'm super excited about is helping other moms who really want to stay home and raise their kids and contribute financially. If you're talking with an executive assistant or someone at that level, I'm an entrepreneur, and what I'm super excited about is helping people like yourself who are trapped in a 9-to-5. Now, you can't assume someone's trapped. You want to kind of suss this out. Maybe she loves her job. He loves his job. So we want to suss this out a little bit before we break one of these guys out and offend somebody. But they've hit their income ceiling and be able to become their own boss and earn what they're truly worth. Imagine if somebody said that to you. You'd be like, what? You know, it'd be really cool. And if you're talking to an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, and I love helping entrepreneurs to be able to do what they love, get paid what they're worth, and have lots of fun doing it. I've actually used that. And it's like, what? What'd you say? They pay what they're worth? Because entrepreneurs never feel like we never make enough money for all the hours that we put in traditional business. So that one's always like, if pay what they're worth, people are like, oh, how do you do that? Now, the idea of the what do you do thing, this thing here, is not to vomit on people. It's to open a conversation. It's to say you want to connect genuinely with the person you're talking to. If you're talking with a stay-at-home mom, you're not going to pull out I partnered with $1 billion wellness company in the US, right? And I'm blowing open the China market. You're talking to an executive, you might drop some of that. The idea here is that it's all congruent. It's all true. It's all real. It's all compliant. It doesn't blow open like, yeah, and I built a blue diamond in 2 months. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And you even kind of want to paint a lower picture, like Victoria shot the blue diamond in 2.5 years. She says always, because people ask her, where are you? And she says, I'm here, blue diamond. But I worked full on focus through my holidays. Yes, I was on Martha's Vineyard with my kids in the summer, but I was working. Not as much, but I was working. So always being truthful in what it's requiring to take to actually build this. This is something that, that you're going to have to go through and figure out for you. What actually gets you excited about this? I can't answer that for you. Your upline can't answer that for you. Only you can answer what gets you excited about this. And then you need to put it to pen and paper and look in front of a mirror and say, what do you do, Allie? And I say, I'm an entrepreneur. And what I love the most is, okay, now I'm talking to a mom. Okay, what I'm excited about the most is, practice looking at what you look like. Okay, so I already went through these. Testimonies, claims in your story, super important that they're accurate and truthful. Must give reasonable expectations. Must never, ever, ever suggest that doTERRA products treat, cures, or prevents any diseases. We're not allowed to say that per the FDA rules. Even if we've had experiences that are opposing to that, it doesn't matter. You can't say it, so don't say it. And we must never, ever promise or guarantee financial or physical results. These are just compliance, period. You do not want your company shut down. You can get in trouble, and you could get doTERRA in trouble as well. And this applies always, in a casual conversation, all the way up to doing a recording like this. Because who knows where this recording is going to go. So we need to make sure that we're always compliant regardless. And it's just good habits, right? What we do, our people will emulate. Well, Allie went through and talked about all this and this and this. That's what people are going to do, if that's what I do. So as leaders, no matter where you are in your journey, start compliant and you stay compliant. There's some options here. This approved claims list, and doTERRA University also has a compliance policy that you should read. All right, last bit, 30-second story. I have 7 minutes. Let's talk about a 30-second story. 30-second story is super important. You can call it your elevator pitch, your elevator story. Again, just like the what do you do, it's intended to pique interest. It's not going to pique everybody's interest, and that's okay. But it's going to pique the right person's interest. Okay? So there's a formula. Use the formula. It's a proven sales formula. Although, yeah, this is like, if you have a degree in business, this is the sales formula. It's tweaked, of course, for our industry, but it's the sales formula. The work document. Oh, what do you do? Somebody found it today. Thank you. Can you send me a WeChat, and I will search for it for you. Okay. Before doTERRA, I was. What were you doing before doTERRA? Identify a pain point here. I'll tell you mine. Before doTERRA, I was consistently stressed out about living in such a expensive city and incredibly expensive international school education. And I didn't have a way to pay for 2 of my kids' schooling. And that added a lot of stress to our lives. I was introduced to doTERRA by name the person, and again, edify, edify, edify. Why should this person care about who introduced you to doTERRA? I was introduced to doTERRA by my friend and my longtime friend, Victoria Fleckenpohl, known her for 10 years. And she's a super health nut. And I knew that I trusted her. You know, I knew that she would have done all the crazy research that I wouldn't have had time to do. Now I've been using oils for about 2 years, and I've just completely flipped my home. There's nothing toxic in my home. In that process, in that time period, we are in the process of now adopting a special needs child with physical limitations, and we've used the oils on her to really benefit her life as well. But really, all of us are really benefiting. And as a result, now not only is my family healthy, but I've really engaged in the opportunity, the business opportunity that doTERRA provides. And now I'm looking at being able to pay for all 4 of my kids' really expensive education here in a matter of years. And for the first time in a long time, I feel a lot of hope and a lot of stress lifted from my shoulders. Let me walk through the mechanics of that story. Before doTERRA, what pain was I in? Education here is painful, legit painful. I have 2 covered by my husband's job, but I have 2 more kids that are not covered and not discounted. I was introduced, and that's painful, right? That's a pain point for me. Even saying it, it's like, it's painful. I was introduced to doTERRA by Edify the Person. I've been using oils for how long? As a result, okay, what have you experienced with the oils? I muddled my way through that. I have to really fine tune it, and it's always changing, right? As your story grows, this grows. And I'm now what? We need to go back to the pain point and show how doTERRA has alleviated the pain point to some degree, right? This is not an effective story. Before doTERRA, I was moving along in my life just fine, right? There's no pain there. People can't connect to that. People connect to pain. And pain is like that human thing that binds us all together. And I'm telling you, when you get into this, people will tell you their physical, emotional, and mental pain like you would not believe. Like, you need to get ready to hear some of people's pain, because it's deep. People are really in pain around us. And this provides just an incredible opportunity to really dig into that with people and to provide options for relief. So here are some options for you. Before doTERRA, I was thinking I was healthy until I learned about toxins. I was looking for a way to be healthier. I was looking for a way to have a business from home. This is Victoria's. I was introduced to doTERRA by my friend John Brentley, who I'd known for over 11 years. Successful businessman in the fitness industry. He knew my passion for health, and he shared the oils with me. After some research, I was a total convert. I've been using them for just about 2 years, but I've flipped my house over as far as my medicine cabinet, cleaning products, beauty products, even cooking. I can't tell you how much money I've saved by making my own products and how much fun I'm doing it. As a result, much more confident in my family's health, saving a great deal on our budget, having a blast helping others while I build a lucrative residual income. I'm now even more passionate than ever in believing that these oils in this company can change lives. I've become a Blue Diamond leader and China founder, and I've radically changed the physical and financial future for my family, and I want this for everyone. Powerful story. It takes 30 seconds, 35 seconds. This requires rehearsing. You need to have a couple of them in your back pocket. This needs to come out really naturally, as the what do you do? You know, if somebody asks you what do you do and you go, what do I do? Which I've totally been there, like especially like in between transitions of work and stuff. Yeah, like it's like, what do I do? You need to have a story ready. Oh shoot, I totally forgot about this. Okay, so if you guys have to pop off, I'm sorry. I totally forgot about the 5-step phone call, but it's really important. So I'll go through this quickly as well. A 5-step phone call. We do phone calls sometimes, but you can also do this in messages. So here's how it works. There's 5 components: time, enthusiasm, compliment, disclaimer, and objective. I love this. Ignorance on fire is 10 times more effective than knowledge on ice. That's so true. I did write this out. I used to write this out, and I love it because you don't have to write it out. It can just be a script on your WeChat or whatever. Hey, do you have a minute? Or is this a good time? We want to ask for permission. If I'm on the phone, let's do this on the phone because it's meant to be the phone. So if I'm on the phone, hey, Gigi, do you have a minute? And if they say yes, awesome. If they say no, try to schedule a time later. Let's say that they say yes. Okay, fantastic. I was so excited to call you about an idea that I would just love to get your opinion on. A lot of times we just ask opinion, but I'm super excited, right? This is the enthusiasm part. I couldn't wait to call and connect with you about what we've recently experienced. Something that screams you, your personality, your excitement, but being excited and ignorance on fire is really powerful here. Compliment. I've always admired your business skills in the way with people, or you always look sharp and you're the ultimate professional. This is where you need to be genuine. Why are you calling them? This is what you do with those people that you start as your business leads that you want to talk to first. Why is it that you're calling them? Be genuine, right? What is it that you respect about them? What is it that you admire about them? Disclaimer. This is my favorite part. I love this part. This very well may not be for you. Or maybe you can help me. I'm looking for people who, 2 things here. This very well may not be for you. Just let them off the hook, right? Totally chill. May not be for you, but can we meet up? Or maybe you can help me. I'm looking for people who. This is brilliant. So a lot of us have, when we create our list, we have what's called a chicken list, like people that we're super scared to talk about or to talk to about this. This method is fantastic for our chicken list. Maybe you can help me. I'm looking for people who are looking to start their own business with a really minimum monthly commitment. Super healthy, into health and wellness. I just love to sit with you and run some ideas by you. Maybe we can brainstorm some names. Objective. Would you take a few minutes and look over information, or do you keep your options for looking at other streams of income in order to improving your health open? Okay. We need to know what we're going to go into the meeting for. What is the objective? Do you want to sit down with them? Do you want a phone call with them? Do you want to get them on the call with your upline? What is the objective? And change your objective accordingly. Note, when you have a positive, proactive individual, share your story briefly and with passion. and plug into your tools. Always have a toolbox handy for local contacts and have your web or recorded tools readily available for the long distance contacts. This would be awesome if you said, going back to what you had asked earlier, Raph, if somebody says, let's say that my objective is to have them watch that hour-long video. Would you take a few minutes? Actually, would you take an hour? If I sent you a video, it's an hour long, would you watch it for me? And then we can have a call afterwards. That would be the objective for that if somebody's far away and they can't come to an in-person class. Can you see the power in this? Time, enthusiasm, complement, disclaimer, and objective. These are super important. And again, it all comes down to you being willing to practice and role play. So if you're at the house, I'd make you actually role play. But obviously you can't do that. So you got to do it yourself. You know, get you and a couple leaders, new leaders. It's so fun to do this. And it's so fun, like funny, and it's awkward. And most people don't know how to do this stuff. And, you know, but you don't practice until you get it right. You don't practice and then you're like, oh, that sounded so great. Phew. You practice until you can't get it wrong. And you can't actually mess up. Or if you do, then you know another way around it, right? Don't just practice until you sound good one time. Malcolm Gladwell, practice isn't the thing you do once you're good. It's the thing you do that makes you good. We can't stress this enough. Like, Victoria's so right. She's like, I cannot implant what I have in my brain into somebody else. You've got to do the hard work of making it happen for yourself. And that's, I mean, you're on the call and you made it through. Yay. So well done for that, guys. I want to open the lines. If you are loud, I'm going to unmute all. Okay, so if you guys are, yeah, questions, comments? Anybody?
Yeah, Ali, it's Raf. Can you share this PowerPoint, I mean the document that we can download so we can write down our own story, just the link?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go on Share Success, oh here, doTERRA.com,
okay.
And then our advocates, I'm going to type this here, and then Empowered Success. All of these guides are right there.
Great.
Yeah. And then the one that I'll look for you is, I will look for 30-second story. Yeah. I can see who, let's see. There's so many. There's so many. Yeah. There's so many. But I'll get the one that Victoria used in this PowerPoint because that's obviously the one that we were using. I just don't have to, I don't happen to have the thing on me. But I'll get it for you. I'll send her a message now.
Great.
Anyone have questions?
I have another one, Ali.
Yeah.
If you sign someone up, let's say you do an evening class, do you sign them up on your computer directly on doTERRA, or can you also send them a link afterwards where they can sign up?
So it really depends what somebody wants. Sorry, I don't know what you guys can see anymore, but my screen's going nuts. And I can't get it out. Anyway, so it depends. Like, some people want to set up right there, and that's awesome. And some people, if they have to go home and talk with a spouse, or if they have to, I don't know, go put money in their bank, then you can send them the link. The only thing that's challenging with that I think I lost you. Are you still there, Ali?
I think we lost her.
Sorry, guys. My computer just totally freaked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you see me now? I'm on my
Oh,
phone.
2 of you.
Well, I know. Look at this. It's like it totally died. Anyway, so if the only tricky part with sending somebody home to do it is the address part. So I have requested from corporate that next to the Chinese they put the English pinyin, because that would alleviate every ounce of trouble that we have helping people set up their accounts. I think it's in the process, but it's not happening yet.
Okay.
But so yeah, you can do either one. It takes 5 minutes. When you know what you're doing, it takes 5 minutes. People do need to have their passport number on hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sitting with a woman today. She's like, she's trying to set up her account. She's like, oh, my passport, it's new and I haven't had it memorized. I'm like, no worries. You can set it up yourself.
And then they add your name somewhere in their account, or they add, how does that work? How do you get into your account?
Yeah, so in the process, it asks, how did you hear about doTERRA? And you'll give them your China VIP number, and then they'll verify it, and it'll say asterisk AF in your last name. They asterisk out the first letter of our names. So yeah, and I'll always say, it'll ask where you heard about the oils. Here's my number. Let me know if you have any challenges.
Cool, thanks.
Anyone else? Sorry about my computer, guys. Kind of nuts. Look at this. It I don't know what it did. That's making me sign in and do crazy things. I don't know. Okay, so if you guys would like this recording, I would love for you to put your email in the chat. Real quick, before I close out the chat, I'm going to stop recording. Oh, I wonder if I can. I can't even stop recording. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Yeah, so if I'm going to stop, I can't stop recording. But if you want the recording, send your email down in the chat, and I'll write them down, and then I can email this out to you if you want to study with it. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. If no email requests, I'm going to go ahead and close out. I'm going to try to. It might keep going. I think actually I can't. So funny. All right, guys. So I'm going to.
Thank you, Ami. Good night.
Good night. Good night. See you later.
Bye.
I stop recording now.